Hello and welcome to my daily podcast, Manna at the Tap. I'm Gloria and I'm delighted to offer this podcast because it provides the daily spiritual nourishment needed to feed the soul with the spiritual food we call manna. We are in the first days after Jesus' resurrection. Today is April the 3rd, 2024, and our lectionary text is the Gospel of Mark, chapter 16. His gospel is what we call today breaking news. It was the first one, hot off the press, with the stories of Jesus' ministry. In our lectionary readings for this week, this is the last of the events of Resurrection Sunday. Mark's gospel begins with the good news about Jesus, the Son of God, as an adult, as told by Isaiah the prophet. Jesus is baptized and ready to fulfill all that has been spoken about him as Messiah, the Anointed One. On resurrection morning, we find a group of women just after sunrise heading for the tomb of Jesus. They have spices in hand to anoint the decomposing body of Jesus in the tomb because they ran out of time on Good Friday as the Sabbath came early due to the darkness. The women are concerned. Who will roll the stone away from the entrance of the tomb? However, this question does not deter them from walking toward the tomb. But when they looked up, they saw that the very large stone had been rolled away. This was not what they were expecting. They had the courage, though, to enter the tomb. It was empty, except for a young man dressed in a white robe who gave them a message and a promise. The message: He is risen. He is not here. Go and tell his disciples and Peter. The promise: Jesus is going ahead of you into Galilee. That's where you will see him just as he told you. The women were so afraid and bewildered by their experiences that they fled from the tomb and said nothing to anyone. Mark's perspective of the resurrection is that Jesus is absent and not in the tomb. The good news requires no resurrectional proof based on Jesus and his disciples encountering each other in the garden, because there is a message and a promise. The risen Christ is not with you, but has gone ahead of you, and you will see him. The women went to the tomb expecting to encounter death and to anoint a decomposing body. But the angel's words sent them back to find the disciples, especially Peter, who denied Jesus. The women had a new assignment. They were to be carriers of the gospel and to share the resurrected message that he is not in the tomb, and they were to tell the promise: he has gone before you. Jesus is absent but alive and has not abandoned us, his followers. He has gone ahead of us and will be there to meet us. The angel showed the women where Jesus had been laid, but, uh, sorry about that, been laid, but he told them to leave the place of the dead, drop their spices, and return to a life and a new beginning. Christ is risen. He's risen for sure. And this is the beginning of the good news of Jesus Christ, the Son of God. May the risen Christ fill you with his peace.